Hi, boys and girls. It's Mrs. Burnfield. I'm here to give you some tips on how to write the response to text for the Black Stallion. Anytime that you are asked to write a response to text, the important first thing that you need to do is read the task carefully, break it apart to see what is being asked of you. I will read it, you follow along. In the story, The Black Stallion, the climax is when Black allows Alec to ride him. Write a paragraph explaining how Alex and Black's relationship changes after this event. Use evidence and details from the story to support your explanation. The first thing that we need to pay attention to is that we are being asked to write a paragraph. Write a paragraph. It isn't a one answer, not a phrase, not a sentence. We are constructing a complete paragraph answering this question. We are writing a paragraph explaining how Black's and Alex's relationship changes after this event. What event? The event is the climax. We'll come back to that in just a minute, because we also want to notice that we need to use evidence and details from the story to support our explanation. Okay, let's go back to the first thing that we need to think about, and that is what the event is. Our task is to write a paragraph explaining how Alex and Black's relationship changes after this event. The event is when Black allows Alec to ride him. So you should think back to the story, think about that moment when Black allows Alec to ride him and how their relationship changes. Something else we want to make sure that we include is evidence and details to support your explanation. When we are thinking about Alex and Black's relationship changing, we should think about what their relationship was like before the ride and what their relationship was like after this. So we need to show the change. We need to think about what it was like before and what it was like after. All right. Let's start with an introduction. You know, when we're writing a response to text paragraph, we use words from the task in our introduction sentence. Let's start with something like this. You certainly can change your introduction, but in case you're having a hard time getting started, here's something you could start with. The climax, just a minute, I'm going to make this purple. The climax of, look what I'm doing, putting it in quotation marks. The climax of the Black Stallion is when, capitalizing their names, Black allows Alec to ride him, period. We want to also include what we're going to do. And what we're going to do is talk about how their relationship changed. So our next sentence, which goes along with the introduction, could say something like this. After, oops, we need a space. After this ride, comma, the relationship between Alec and Black, capital, changes, period. Next, we want to think about that change. So the first thing we need to do is think about what was their life like, or what was their relationship like before the ride. So we want to include, answer this question, what was the relationship like before the ride? And we want to include evidence and details to support that. So you can't just say, oh, the relationship was blah, 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 blah. You have to say how you know that. So we want to include evidence and details to show what the relationship was like before the ride. Next, we want to say how the relationship has changed. So, back to the changes. After the ride, how was the relationship? And then we also need to include evidence and details for this. Evidence and details to show what Alex and Black's relationship was like after the ride. And then finally, we want to add a short little concluding sentence to draw our paragraph to a close. So, quick recap. We are writing a paragraph. The task that we are being asked to do is explain how Alex and Black's relationship changes after the first time that Black allows Alex to ride him. We also need to support our ideas with evidence and details. So you need a concluding sentence. You need to tell the reader what their relationship was like before the ride. Explain that with details. Tell the reader what the relationship was like after the ride. Explain that with evidence and details. And then a short concluding sentence so that it sounds like an ending. You are doing a great job, boys and girls. Keep up the good work. Only a few more weeks of online learning, and then you will be sixth graders. I can't believe it. We are so proud of you. Keep on working. I will see you soon. Bye-bye.